Hi, welcome to this management science tutorial entitled Break-Even Point Analysis. So the scenario is like that. We've got a company which produces jeans. And we would like to find the number of jeans that we have to produce to break even. The most difficult task is of course to find the parameters. Luckily they are already given. So the fixed costs are £10,000 per month. Usually they are constituted out of rent and other things. Then you also looked at the actual production of the jeans and you figured out that producing one pair of jeans costs £8. And now the interesting part is how much should we actually sell that pair of jeans, and well, it is sold for £23. Then another interesting parameter is how many jeans are they currently selling per month, and this number is 600. Okay, what shall we do? Let's have a little plan. So the first thing which we want to do is display all this essential information in a table. Then what happens if we vary the volume? What happens if we have 600 pairs of jeans? Do we make a profit with that? Okay. If not, do we at least break even? Is the current sales volume enough to break even? Then after that, we would actually like to derive a formula for the break-even volume. And then of course, once we have got that formula, we put it into Excel and determine the break-even point. Of course, it's very nice to visualize this as well, so we'll do that as well. Great, let's start. So our fixed cost is 10,000 jeans per month. So let's open Excel and put the fixed costs in there. So fixed costs are £10,000. Excellent. What else do we have? We know that the variable costs, sorry, it's actually singular. Fixed cost is 10,000 and variable cost is £8 per jean. Then what else do we need? What else do we have? Well, we know that the revenue for selling one jean, is £23. What else do we know? The current volume is 600 jeans. Okay, that's actually jeans. So let's change that to a number format. So 600 jeans. So this is the most important information which we've got. What can we derive out of that? So let's see what are the effects if we change the volume. So let's play around a bit with the volume. Let's say if we don't have any volume, then of course we won't have any variable costs. That means 0 times the number of jeans times the cost per jean is 8. So what we have seen here is, by the way, we have introduced, what did we introduce here? A formula. So here back again. So we multiplied the cell F2 with the cell C3. Okay. Now let's see what happens if we change the volume to 1000 jeans. What is our variable cost? Well, of course, 8 times 1000 jeans. 8,000 pounds. That's all very good. What else do we have? Well, the total cost is of course the variable cost with so the variable cost with the fixed costs. Since this is very important, let's put it actually down here. Total cost is the fixed cost plus the total variable cost. 8 times 600 in this case. So currently the jeans company incurs a total cost of 14,800. What is actually the total revenue? This is simply taking the 23 pounds per jeans and multiplying it with the quantity, which is 600 jeans. Of course, this is also a pound symbol, so I'll just format that in the same way. Total revenue. What is that actually? What is the time frame per month? We have got per month here as well, so I'll just copy that cell and say per month. Per month. Okay. Well, I'll play around here a bit with the volume and see how this all adds up. So we wanted to have the total cost here as well. Total cost, which is the variable cost plus the fixed cost. And again, same here, variable cost plus the fixed cost. Excellent. Now let's also have a look at the revenue. Total revenue. Which is nothing else than the volume times price, and again the volume times the price. So here we do see already that if we sell 1,000 jeans, then the revenue is greater than the total cost. Okay. So are we making any profit? Let's have a look. Total profit. Since we have only one profit is equal to, what is the profit? The profit is the revenues minus the cost. So actually, by selling 600 jeans, we make a loss, 1,000 pounds per month, which is not good. So how many jeans should we actually produce in order to break even? Well, we could just play around with the current volume and say, okay, what if we sell 900 jeans? And we say, we make a profit. Okay, so we could go there. So actually we probably get a very good feeling and pretty soon there at the right amount. However, we want to be a bit more structured and actually derive the break-even point. Okay, let's just summarize. Did we achieve our basic tasks which we set out initially? Well, some of them we did achieve now. We displayed the essential information in a table. We played around with the volume. So this was our task 1. So what was our task 1? This one was our task 1. And we calculated the effects of the volume changes. So we did that here and here. Then we also answered the third question, which was, is the current sales volume Is the current sales volume enough to break even? Obviously not. It's not. So because the current sales volume is 600. And this gives us a loss. So this was task 3. Okay. Next task is to derive the break-even volume in LaTeX. So you can go to and start your browser and look for an online LaTeX editor, and you will find one, hopefully the same. And here you can just enter the formulas. Well, first let's think about it again. What do we want to achieve? The break-even point. What is the break-even point? The break-even point is... What is the break-even point? Break-even point is when the, well, several things. Profit equals is 0. When does that happen? When does that happen? That's the same as when the revenues are equal to the cost. Of course, we are talking here about total revenue and total cost. Okay, let's use that. So revenue, what is the revenue? Let's say the revenue per item is R times the volume is V, and this must equal the total cost. That's the fixed cost and the variable cost. Okay, let's call this is the variable cost for one gene multiplied with the volume and plus the fixed cost. Okay, here we got the formula. I'll just copy that and place it in here, so we've got it as a reference. Now we can just manipulate that formula to actually determine the volume. Okay, let's just remind ourselves what we have just done. So this one is the fixed cost. So now it becomes obvious why I used LaTeX, because it's not so nice to actually put the symbol in here. Also, I could just format that a little bit and get it into the same shape. But as you see, I have to select it, press format cells, wait ages until the format editor comes up and put it to subscript. And okay, then I'm almost there. Then I still have to make it italic. Then I should put the equal sign as well there. Shift it over there. And I've still got the description in between, and the equal sign is not there again. So lots of reason to switch to a formula editor. Okay, so back to our break-even point analysis. So we know now revenue equals cost. And we want to know the volume because we've got all the other parameters given. So how do we get that? Well, let's go back to our editor, formula editor. So we just subtract the variable cost, and this makes this is then equal to the fixed cost. Okay, I'll place it in here again. What's our next step? We actually want to take out the volume. So let's get the volume out of the brackets. Nice distributive flow. Our next step. So we took it out there. Here we go. Next nice beautiful formula. And almost there. We just have to divide now this kind of profit per item without the fixed cost in order to get the volume. Okay, back to our formula editor. Say okay, we take that out and divide. Okay, fraction of this and this. Here we've got the fraction as well. And hooray, that's our formula which we need. Yeah. So now we have to put it into Excel. So break-even point is the fixed cost divided by the revenue minus the cost. So now we do know that we have to sell 666.6 periodic genes. Okay, so we should at least sell 667 genes to break even. And we actually make a little profit of £5. If we want to be precise, then of course we should take this value, and there's no profit. So with that we have actually achieved now our task 4, derive the break-even point, and we determine the break-even point volume. The next one is to visualize the cost and revenue relationships. Alright, so we have got here already a couple of points, so it would be nice to actually visualize that immediately in a graph. Let's see whether we can do that. So I'll just insert a line graph. Well, actually, these are my x coordinates and these are my y coordinates. So it probably would be better if I insert an xy graph. Here we've got one. And since we have all lines, this should be perfect. And it looks pretty messy. Let's see whether we can just fix that easily. And this looks already much better. So we've almost fixed that. I'll just move that now to I'll move that graph, the chart, to a own sheet, new sheet. We can see it better. So here we see now we've got a new sheet. Well, it still doesn't look that attractive, so we'll just play around with it a little bit. Make it a little bit better. The fonts are still very small, so we probably want to increase the fonts as well. And the legend. So now it's slowly becomes a bit visible. What else? This font is also still very small. Let's just go up there to 16. This one as well to 16. Okay, here we are. We do see what's happening. We've got, as we see here, the total revenue is here, starting linear. Of course, it would be nice if everything starts at 0 and if we get a bit more of a balance. So let's change the data a bit and say, okay, we actually start at 0 and we go to, let's say, 1500 genes. Okay, this is immediately reflected in our graph. So here we had the variable cost, then plus the fixed cost of the 10,000 pounds, the total cost now. Here is exactly our break-even point. So we can still actually put a little line in there and say, here's our break-even point, which is of course the 666.7 genes. Okay, that's basically it. We of course need to communicate that to the company, but that goes a little bit further. This would go into PowerPoint presentations, which is quite easy as well. You just open up your PowerPoint and put in your data, copy and paste your data into PowerPoint, copy and paste the graph, and all done. And of course you have to write a couple of punchlines. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and hope to see you soon. Bye.